morning, beautiful people. Thank you very much for the intro. I'm hopefully going to try and share my screen. Does that work? Perfect. As planned. Brilliant. So I'm just going to kind of continue the narrative from Paul around networks and connections. So this presentation is all about glue, and you probably all sitting there going, God, what on earth is she on about? But this is the kind that creates those bonds between businesses and people. So I want to kind of talk about networking and connections. So we create our networks all the time, whether they're social or they're business with other people and other businesses. And I just wanted to kind of reflect on why we do that and the real benefits to us, and to really try and build on this community with Includability. I personally have been in the Includability family from the start of this as an ambassador, very lucky to be able to do that, and I've gained a huge amount out of it. So I just want to share a little bit about that story as well. But you know, when thinking about networking benefits, there's such great opportunities, and I think this is a fantastic platform for sharing our knowledge and our experiences and our ideas. And I know that people have been very open and have shared a lot of different stories on the platform, but those relationships can obviously also result in real opportunities. And we're, you know, many of us are in business, or we want to grow our communities and our networks and work with other people. So we've got this fantastic opportunity to create really solid and sustainable connections. But also there's lots of different subject matter experts. And again, as I say, I've met some brilliant people on here who have got such fantastic knowledge or life experience that have helped me understand different parts of my work in diversity and inclusion. So it's a really good opportunity to build your personal profile, but also your business profile, increase learning, and I think also innovation. And we've seen that through various different things that Includability have done in terms of trying to innovate and create opportunities for doing things differently. The whole platform is in and of itself a very different way of thinking about recruitment and selection, creating a community for employers, but also a way of getting things done. And Harvard Business Review did some research recently that showed that personal and professional networks have shrunk by about 18% since the pandemic. So we've all kind of receded into our introverted ways and gone, oh no, I don't want to do any networking. And it's great that you guys are on the platform, but I also think it's a real opportunity to bring clients and other colleagues to share in this, because I think we've got a fantastic opportunity to create change. And if you look at the B Corp piece and all of those elements around that, this is real sustainable change for good. I personally find networking really cringy. I don't like it. I don't like talking to people I don't know, which you probably don't believe right now. But many people find it a really painful experience. But if it's structured in the right way, it can be really easy and productive. And that's through the events, and it's a series of events, not one-off sessions. One-off sessions, you meet, you see people, you talk about certain subjects, and then you kind of go away and get on with the day job. But using a platform to create a real community where you come together and you get to know each other means that you can really build some new contacts and some stronger connections. And for me, the focus of the networking is definitely on learning, finding those common interests, thinking about what you can give to a relationship, but also considering kind of the collective benefits. I can't make it change. I can't make the screen change. Ah, there we go. So for me, the role of the host and the pressure on Includability, because they're a critical part of making sure the network's successful. And so I started to think about, well, what are the benefits of me coming onto the Includability network and sharing you know, Includability with other people through LinkedIn or through my client base, etc. And I think the more involved you are in the network, the more that you can take part, you can get so much out of it. And I think over the period of time, and I think I've been working with Includability for about 12 months or more roughly, is that obviously you've got the employer support groups, but the use of the ambassadors, the partners, and the other members of the network have meant that I've been able to create some really great relationships. And that's helped me from providing what I do as business, but also building on my knowledge and sharing ideas. There have been some people on this employer support group who have done presentations where I've just had no real understanding of kind of the area of their expertise, and it's given me such an amazing amount of insight into different experiences. And so I think, you know, for me, includability is one way to bring together those networks. And I just wanted to give you a little example, a short example about kind of glue in action, if you like, and showing how you can really use this network well to create some exciting opportunities. So when I first was working with Dave, he introduced me to Worcester City Women's Football Club and a lady called Nicole Allison. And Nicole and I met through the network, and in May 2022, we started some discussions around developing and building a sustainable women's football club, which was fully inclusive with Worcester City. And I come from a football background. Nicole does too. Was at Tottenham, I was at Chelsea, but we don't fight over that. And we wanted to create a different approach to women's football in the lower levels of the Women's Football League. You know, this is Sunday afternoon football for women. But the aim was to create a very sustainable organisation, a very sustainable football club that would move up the football pyramid, but would be built very professionally and very well from the outset. So we embarked on creating a structure for the club, focusing on the culture and our joint values. And we've created now a vision and values for the club, an inclusive approach to the culture, both on and off the pitch. We've really thought about our brand values to make the organisation more attractive for us players, but you know, works in the world of work as well in terms of candidates, etc., or clients. And also for us to be able to create a model which would attract sponsors. There is very little, if not no money in the bottom of the Women's Football League. And so we really need people to be attracted to us as an organisation and what we stand for in our culture. And so far, we've designed and built player and volunteer communications, policies and practices. We're looking at the governance structure now, our investment models, communication strategies, and our sponsorship plans. And all of this has come out from this introduction. We had a Zoom call. We just started chatting about football, and now I'm a volunteer board advisor working with Nicole on all those different elements of the strategy. And the work that we're doing is so far in advance of women's football clubs in that part of the football pyramid, but also really, actually, if I'm honest, in many parts of the football pyramid, both men's and women's. But also through that introduction from Includability, we've created a really genuine friendship and a relationship founded on our passion for football, our passion for women's sport, for inclusion, and for building a long-term sustainable club and creating outstanding performance on and off the pitch. And what's really exciting, what you can see from this slide, is that we're now expanding our work and we're connecting with other parts of the Includability family to enhance our club and make it an even better place for our players, for our volunteers, for our fan base, and also for our sponsors. And so I'm really delighted we've been chatting with Geeky and B1G1, and hopefully we'll form relationships and partnerships with them over the medium term. And again, using those connections, we want to be able to build this amazing club and use as well all the member benefits that you can find in the Includability portal that we can access to build that brand, our business and our community. So it's just a little example about how one email to Dave created you know, a really fantastic and what will be a long-lasting relationship, but also how we're now, from the different employer support groups that we've attended, being able to say, actually, wow, we can work with B1G1 on thinking about how we can create a really fantastic community around supporting, different types of charitable stuff. We want to work with Geeky on how to really build around sustainability. We want to work with Jack in the future to support our players and our volunteers to be able to access Just Ask a Question. So we've sort of started to glue all of our relationships together, and I feel like we're creating this quite amazing ecosystem, and it's all come off the back of working with Includability, because I never would have perhaps even found some of these people if I hadn't met them on the employer support groups. So just to sort of sum up, the Includability ConneXXions, which is a new part of the Includability family, is a really good way to discover how you can effectively glue together your network and create a group of people that can share your values, your ideas, products and services, and so on. It doesn't necessarily have to be financial. It could just be about sharing ideas and thoughts. But it'd be really great, and myself and Nicole have done this, to share stories through Includability ConneXXions, because I think that really demonstrates to other people joining the platform around how you can get some really good tangible benefits from this, but also those really fantastic relationships. I absolutely love Nicole, and we've had such fun working together. And especially if you're in a smaller business or you work on your own, those relationships are amazingly important. So if you have got stories that you can share, or a case study, please do share it, because I think for me, it's really interesting to see how different people and different businesses are using the platform and the employer support groups and the different benefits to build their business. I'm sticking, I think, perfectly to time. So she said, I'm going to give myself a figure. So for the breakout rooms, it's just really a chat around how could you use Includability even more to benefit your business or build your network, and maybe share stories about how you've used it already or what your plans are. So just a bit of a chat in the breakout room, really, to have a bit of a think about that, and just to take some time to think about the benefits of being part of this group, but also to expand this group and bring more people into it, so that we can all develop and grow and learn more things. So Dave, that's me.
Thank you, Sarah. And I promise you, we haven't paid Sarah to say all of that stuff.
They haven't paid me.
It sounded like that might have been the case. It absolutely isn't. But what I would like to say as well is that when we set up Includability, and it's evolved over a period of time, is understanding the importance of human interaction, of sharing stories, and the power of storytelling. And so many businesses have to overcome obstacles and challenges, and you don't always have to rewrite the kind of the rule book every single time, because people quite often have already done it. So by bringing people together, by imparting your knowledge on others, and having that psychologically safe space to ask people, what could we do? How could we do this? Then we don't audit anything. We're not at Includability, we're not about auditing a process and asking for tens of thousands of documents to be uploaded. What we want is complete transparency and just an understanding of where you're at, and then we can help you try and make that progress through those introductions. So go into your breakout rooms. If you're unsure, if you're in a group and nobody's involved in Includability or knows about Includability, which would be unfortunate, just have a think about, actually, well, what could you get? Why did you come onto this in the first place, and how could it? Sarah mentioned about the member benefits platform, and we'll kind of put links in there so that you can see that as well. So enjoy the next kind of 10 minutes or so. Please do introduce yourselves if you feel comfortable. Please tell people your pronouns, but just allow people to kind of have a chat, have a say, have a listen, and have a good discussion. And then we'll see you in about 10 minutes.